Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to Bollitv. As you all know, all kind of Guadalajara going in the community. You've been seeing breaking news from Bollietv. You saw the interview with one of the board members. So today, we are here with another guest. I know you saw him on Bollietv today, but with all the things that go in the community, we cannot leave the opposition out. So I invited one of the opposition members here today, so we can continue the discussion. And since the community, which is the higher decision-making body in the community, has already placed a hold on everything about the election until the board can go in-house and fix it. So I will turn to my brother here so he can introduce himself. He's not a new guest to the show. He's been here before. So my brother, how you doing today?
Hi, Bolay. Good to be here. Welcome. It's good to always be on the Bollietv. I think it's been almost 2 years now since
Yeah, the last time you were here about almost 2 years now.
Yes.
But introduce yourself for the viewers.
For those of you following, I want to say Happy New Year to the people of Arizona, Liberians all around the world. Those of you that will follow us from Liberia and other parts of the world, Happy New Year. It's good to be alive. I'm grateful. My name is Steve Bolay. I'm the President Emeritus. In other words, I am the former president, former immediate president. And so it's good to be here to give perspective to some of the things transpiring in the community. Like I said, I've been on Bollietv almost 2 years now, and this is my second appearance, so I'm not a stranger here.
Man, you're always welcome, man, brother. You're always welcome. This is your spot. Now, let's just go directly into what's going on. I think you've been seeing everything that go on, right? What's going on, man? During your time, when you were leaving power, the transition was all smooth. We didn't have all the Guadalajara going on here and everything. So I'm going to be asking you some constitutional questions here today so that people can understand, so we can know what's going on. But first, what do you think? What's going on?
Well, I think my first thing is I want to appreciate the people of Arizona for giving us the opportunity to serve. But I also want to thank the people of Arizona because the Liberians in Arizona, they're resilient, they're good people, they're very patient and tolerant people. And be honest.
Correct.
Because there's been a lot that has happened since the last time we were in leadership.
You are correct.
The new leadership that took over in 2024, January 20th, if you can recall, they started off from one drama to another. In fact, their presidency have created more chaos, division, confusion, corruption, lies, tricks, games, and it makes our community look like we don't have serious people or nothing serious is going on in the community, But I just want to dispel that notion. Yes, the leadership is acting very bad, governing very bad, leading very bad, but we have very good people in Arizona, very responsible people. And so it's saddening, it's unfortunate, it's frustrating, but I like to say one of my favorite sayings is elections have consequences.
So because of the consequences, that you keep saying election have consequences, you think what's going on now is right? Did you see the communications that have been placing on Bollietv social media?
Yes, I have.
So when you say consequences, do you want the people to suffer? Is that what you're saying because they elected them?
No, not necessarily. I don't want the people of Arizona to suffer. I don't want the name, the reputation, and the community's reputation out there to be tarnished or whatever. I don't, to be quite honest. I care about this community. I think this is a good community. I think the people are good, like I've said over and over and again. But I also think that we learn it in different ways. Sometimes you don't know you have good until you lose it or until it leaves you. Sometimes we don't cherish good people, good leaders until we allow them to leave the scene. Then we start to miss them. I say this to say also that similarly in America, we saw the election of President Donald Trump. People were warned not to vote for President Donald Trump because of the things he said, the things he did, the way he carried himself. some people chose to vote for him because either of Christian connection, their religious belief, some people for economic reasons and so forth. Today, look at what we're in America. So I'm making this comparison because, you know, election has consequences, and this is the consequences we are faced with. This will be hopefully a lesson for all of us in Arizona. When we decide to go elect people, we will think carefully. We will not follow what people say to us. We will not create lies in the name of politics. We will not create deception. We will not create hate. But rather we will elect people who will represent us representatively. So I'm just saying that election has consequences because this is the fact. We all are seeing the consequences of it today.
Yeah, but I mean, when you look at the current problem that we're facing, where they're trying to wish on your former vice president, this whole problem coming from the board now. You saw the interview I did with Mr. Harridwell.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Accusing the sitting chairman of the board
right.
of not bringing them to meeting. Now, why you think they're wish hunting your vice president, the former vice president? Because that's a wish hunt. If a board member is coming up, because before we go to the next question, I want you to just tell me, do you think they wish hunting your former vice president, Mr. Emmanuel?
I think it's more than witch hunt. You know,
but then what it is?
You're using the political term witch hunt, but it's more than witch hunt. It's
because they suspended the man.
It's problematic. It's a way to create confusion in the community. I say this to say, not just the former vice president, the most immediate vice president also, they suspended her. But if we go back, because people that will watch this might not know why the suspensions or all these things came about. The current vice president, the reason why she was suspended because she carried complaint to them, the same board.
Yeah, but if you look at, I like to be fair. Right. For the record, the board chair was invited because most of the controversial and allegations you got hearing, only his name being mentioned. The other board members' names are not mentioned. But if we look at all of them together, because Mr. Former President, you were there.
Yeah.
Right?
In the meeting, yes.
Okay. I mean, not the meeting. You were in that position before.
Yes, I was there.
Okay. When the decisions are made by the board, it's not just one person that made that decision.
It shouldn't be.
Yes. It should come on the floor where everybody will, partake in the conversation to decide.
Most definitely.
But from what we're hearing now, it's only the board chairman name coming out of it. What's going on? Why you think it's happening that way? Because it's not happening. If you look at this complaint now, because number one, it's all about the board. You never hear say, oh, the president came and suspended somebody. It is the board now we're hearing it. Right. But instead of hearing the board name, because it's supposed to be the board. Now it's only one person who is unilaterally taking decisions. Why things like that? Because number one, if you read some of the communications report and some of the conversation we had on the night of the 11th of January, the board members are there. They complain that most of the decisions, the people were not given due process, they were not invited. So I want you to elaborate on, why is it only he alone name coming up when they all are the board? Why are they speaking? Why did they speak ever since when they have been taking unilateral decisions, even when it came to the Constitution? Well, why are they speaking now? I mean, what do you think? What's going on? And I want to elaborate. I was going to give you the time.
Yeah, first of all, I wanted for us to let's before we come to the board part, let's come to the Constitution first of all.
Okay.
The decision about the Constitution
to amend.
According to them, they just amended a new Constitution or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think it was not just last month.
Yeah, which I've not opened, I've not read, and the reason I haven't read it is because you can't destroy the foundation of anything and expect to get good results. That's not how it works. That's not how life works. Okay. I say this to say that the current leadership is proceeding wrong, very, very wrong, and I wouldn't restrict myself from using the word wrong. I would even go as far as saying corrupt.
Okay.
As evidenced by that, in Article 18 of the Liberian Association Constitution, it talks about how the Constitution should, the amendment should be duly proposed and within 45 days, the General Secretary should give due notice to the board of directors. The question I wanted to ask is, before we even go into that, was it the General Secretary that sent the so-called Constitution that they amended to the board of directors? Was it the general secretary that sent it?
Well, let me just say this.
Right.
The board chair will be the person to answer it.
So if
he said he acknowledged my invitation, but he has not told me whether he will appear or when he will appear.
Right. So if the reason I'm asking this question because credible sources in the administration have informed us that the Secretary General did not even partake in all of this process. The Secretary General was elected.
Correct.
He needs to be the one to play this role. In fact, the Constitution tells us exactly who should send a notification to them. It should not be the president. It should not be the vice president. So if, for any reason, the Secretary General is not active or he is not there anymore, whatever it is, the body should be made known. Do you understand? So that's part of the fraudulent, corrupt activity that they carry on for the new Constitution. Secondly, this is the first time I've ever heard in my life wherein you adapt a Constitution, you use that same Constitution from that same administration that is about to leave to run an election. It doesn't work like that.
And you just made a salient point. Then you use the new state constitution to suspend people for something that was in the past when this new constitution was not even in existence.
Right.
So that's why I'm asking you that, because I want you to elaborate on all the things I've been saying. Are they wage something or what are they trying to do?
So the reason I'm saying this is because they had to create a basis for everything that they are doing. They wanted to substantiate what they are doing, or they wanted to back up what they are doing with some kind of legal thing, such as the Constitution, whatever it is. But they shot themselves in the leg. They did. In fact, if there is any dispute in the community per our Constitution, the accused should be given due process. When I asked the former vice president, were you given due process? Were you ever called by the board to be asked any question? He said no. So how did they come to a conclusion to suspend the former vice president?
So according to Mr. T, basically, I assume that was his due process you explained to me. When I asked him, I think if you read the communication I put up on my social media pages, when I asked him as to whether the former vice president was given due process, he said he called the man and he had you on the phone and the man insulted him. Is that the process? Is that how it's described in the Constitution that somebody gets due process by one person on the board picking up to call them and put another person on the phone, and that would be considered a due process?
First of all, if he told you that he called the former vice president, and the former vice, he added me on the phone, that's not true. Let's
that's what he said.
Because there are a lot of things that we know we don't talk about.
Okay, what happened then?
What happened was, I got a call from the board chair, Eric T. I got a call from him. When he called me, he said, I would like for you to please talk to the former vice president to give me back the chat room. That was his statement, to give me back the chat room. And I said, what do you mean give you back the chat room? He said, oh, you are not following the event in the chat room? I said, what? He said, well, the current vice president took all of us out of the chat room and kicked all of us out for no reason. I said, okay. I said, then how does this come to do with the current the former vice president? You saying the current vice president took you off. How do you get the former vice president to get into this? He said, well, the chat room reverted to him because he created a chat room in your administration, so automatically WhatsApp provided to him. I said, oh, okay, I see. So he said, I tried calling the man is not answering. But I believe if you call him, he will answer you. I said, okay. He said, can you please tell him to turn the chat room over to me? I said, no, I'm not going to do that. What I can do for you, because I don't know what's going on, I can get the man on the phone. So all three of us can be on the phone and we can have this conversation and you can make that request to him here. You'll talk about it. And so I called the former vice president. He picked up and I added him to the call. Before adding, I informed him that Eric T is on the other line. And we did that. When he came on, Eric T asked him to turn the chat room over. And the former vice president told Eric T on the phone while I was there as the mediator that he will not turn it over to Eric T. He has to turn it over to the administration because per the Constitution, it shouldn't be turned over to the board but to the administration. And the same thing he posted in the chat room, the same communication, that just why he told Eric T on the phone. Let's be clear about something. There was no insult, because if there was insult that day on the phone, I would have told the former vice president to not insult the board chair. There was no insult.
So
let's be clear about it.
I like the way you put it, but I have to come here.
Sure.
Because we have to be fair to everybody.
Sure.
You were once a sitting president.
Yes.
Normally,
yes.
Who is in charge to run the general chat room, the Liberian Association general chat room of the association?
The day-to-day activities, which include the general chat room, is the administration, not the board.
So the administration,
yes,
supposed to be the one to run the chat room.
Yes, the executive committee. Yes,
the executive chat room.
Yeah, which is the president, vice president, secretary, all these group of people.
Thank
not
you.
the board.
Thank you.
Per the constitution.
So, there's my question then.
Yeah.
Was the former vice president, because I saw his letter that he wrote and put in the chat room. He said the board is now responsible to run that chat room.
Yes.
The executives are responsible to run it.
Sure.
And that the executives they all should sign, because he don't want confusion. All four of them, elected executives, should sign paperwork saying they want the chat room and you're going to turn it back to him.
Yes.
To them, I'm sorry.
Yes.
So then why is he being penalized today for not telling what to the board? Is that a board job?
Because Eric called, like I said, and decided that he wanted the chat room to be turned over to him. He never even said the board. He said to him. And he tried to convince us that he will be in charge and the executive will not be in charge because they're making confusion, they're having misunderstanding. He does not want the executive to be in charge. And the former vice president told him right there. And at that point, there is nothing I could have done. There's nothing I could have said or could have done.
And that was before they adopted this new constitution.
That was way before they adopted. That was basically, that was a year
plus ago.
Or a year and a month ago. Because this conversation happened in December of 2025. No, what?
No. I don't think it was even December.
It was in...
When did they investigate? When did the sitting vice president carry the complaint to the president?
It was in December of 2024. That's when Eric made that call to me. And so, I can pull the record up.
In December, so listen now. Yes. In December of 2024.
Yes.
It was when he made that call to me.
It was when he made the call to me. Yes.
And other board members are indicating that since then, they never saw any kind of a complaint or anything into the chat room.
Yes, any investigation on it.
Then, I read a communication from the general chat room again just today, posted by one of the members or one of the committee of the former vice president, stating the date that particular letter that was written to Mr. Emmanuel Alimano for suspension was December 1st. And he sent it to him on December 15th.
Yes.
So say 2024.
I think on December 17th.
Yeah, December 17th. If I'm not mistaken, I said to be correct.
December 17th.
So say 2024. You do no investigation, we know anything about it.
Right.
And then in 2025, you just send the letter to say he's suspended.
But this is why I told you, this is criminal in nature. It's dubious. It's crafty. So let me tell you the long-term strategy. The long-term strategy is to prevent the former vice president from running for presidency because they've heard in the community that he wants to run.
Okay.
To stop him at all costs, because if they wanted to do anything right by the Constitution, they had an entire year to do an investigation to get this thing off the way. So they strategically, first of all, let me tell you something. You don't write a letter to somebody because you are not mailing a letter, you email the letter. You don't write a letter to somebody dated December 1st and you send it to them on the 17th. It don't make any sense. It don't make any sense. It does not make any sense. Wow. And so that in itself tells you the motives behind it. That these guys, they're on some kind of criminal, crooked, lying, dubious, and funny behavior. And this must be called out. And this has been the MO. This has been the behavior of Eric T. This is who he is.
Yeah, but in your administration, let me go a little bit back before we can go forward. In your administration, as I learned, based on my sources, and which of course I posted in one of the Bollitv's interview I did, where there was a communication sent from you to the same board chair when you were also board chair during your time.
Yes.
To audit the previous administration. And And you say you should tell you where you should hold it.
Well, first of all, the Constitution.
I mean, what I'm trying to say is this. I'm coming to the question now. Has this board chair been unilaterally just making decision? Because to be honest with you, the guy is just saying no. Even though he is elected by the community, the higher ballot, and work for us. But everything must be him. Is that how it's supposed to work though?
Well, first of all, the Constitution is very clear on who does any kind of investigation of corruption, allegations, and everything. Who is in charge? When complaints are brought to them, or if the community, what we did in our administration when we came, in order to set a transparent path, we decided to audit. That was the letter we wrote.
Okay.
We decided to audit the previous administration before also we can give report to the people. And we didn't just make that decision, we took it to the general body and it was voted and agreed upon in a general meeting that was not hitting. It was very transparent, the process. After that, we communicated with the board based on the decision of the body, which the Constitution tells us to do. We did that. Interestingly, part of the reasons Eric refused to do that was because this same Eric, who is dubious, criminally minded, and unserious, incompetent, and inept. I'm saying it because when you know how to do your job, when you can read with comprehension, understanding, nobody has to tell you what to do because the thing is written there is very clear. We said do an audit based on what the general body wanted and what the people wanted. So that's what we followed. But the reason he didn't want to do it is because he and other people went. And during the elections, they went and brought Jamaicans and other people to vote in our elections as Liberians.
The one you got elected in?
They stole, no, before that time, they basically robbed the Liberian people of the elections so that they can give it to Lester. So when Lester became president, when we went into the account and saw all of the activities that were there, wherein we had COVID money. Look, let me say this. This is deeper than you think. This is bigger than you think. The community was giving 5,000 during the COVID period.
Well, one interview, he said maybe it was 10,000.
It was 5,000.
He said, but he checked the whole record, nothing was there.
I know that's not true. That is not true.
First of all, I want to know, the man said, according to your former vice president, during one of my interview at the voting site, he said the man posted a account in year 2000. So what did everything check?
So guess what? Guess what they did? Lester decided, first of all, to tell you that these people, they are not serious-minded group of guys. They have no integrity. Let me tell you something. These guys are corrupt. These guys went, and because they knew that we would have audited them, guess what they did?
No.
They decided, before they could turn anything over, he decided to go to West Fargo Bank and close the account. Lester Myers. How can you close the account of the Liberian Association when it is not your personal account?
Well, according to Mr.
So what we did, long story short, what we did, we play with the game, what they want to do. Then we went back to West Fargo, presented the necessary document, and appealed to them not to close the account because the account belonged to the community.
The organization.
West Fargo agreed. And this was John Bernard R. that went there. John Bernard at that time was former vice president. Can you imagine? He had resigned. We went to the bank and the people agreed. When we entered the account, these guys were writing checks to themselves.
That's it.
It's in the account. Okay. So based on those allegations, based on the facts that we saw, I saw it because I was signatory on the account.
Wow.
So I went through the account. I was not speaking, I'm not speaking here on they say, I say, I'm speaking based on facts. Based on realities. So even if they wanted, we did print out the entire bank account, all the transactions from their time to our time. We printed it out and we got copies. We can make it available to Bollietv as well.
Yeah, I want copies.
So to tell you, when we presented the paperwork, listen now. When we presented the request on the community to do the auditing, Eric refused.
Why do you think he refused? We're going to continue. This is getting really juicy. You're going to be putting your mom and say, I think you want to divide the community, but look at all the things that are coming up. So, Mr. Bolay, continue.
You know, I sat for 2 years and I didn't say anything. Let me say this, we had the facts. We have the facts, we had the facts, and the facts still exist. part of the reasons we didn't want to say some of these things is because we didn't want to seem like we were trying to divide the community. No, we didn't want to do
that. But man, you're silent for 2 years.
Yes, because that's what responsible people do. You allow people the opportunity to prove who they are. We never interfere with them.
Yeah, but so
what I want to do now, what Eric and Harry Atto, the current president, want to do now is to put somebody there to shield them.
No,
but this will not happen this time around because you know what? The facts are available. And we're not going to sit back for them to do this thing that they used to do.
Yeah, but let's be fair now. What took place during Lester Mayata, Harry Atto was not around.
Right.
But so what I'm saying,
so are you saying, the reason I'm linking them, the reason I'm saying Harry Atto because it was a same Eric man that brought Harry Atto again.
Okay, so what I'm saying.
So he's in the habit of bringing corrupt people and dubious people so that he can be part of the corruption and they can do corrupt activities. I'm calling all of them corrupt. The Harry, I'm saying Harry is corrupt.
Which Harry now?
Harry Atto, the current president, he is corrupt. I'm saying Eric T is corrupt. I'm saying Lester Meyer is corrupt. The facts are there to prove it.
So go to the bank. Do you think it is the same thing that they're doing now with the election?
Oh yes, most definitely.
Placed on hold by the community.
Yes, most definitely.
To see that they can clear the way for certain people.
Yes.
So right now, you pass a constitution that you say you adapt. Because I saw the president boasting in one time about we are going to be voting on the constitution, the new constitution today, and it will be adapted today.
They're not only corrupt, they're inept
let me ask you
and incompetent.
I mean, does it work that way? Do people actually vote on constitution or government vote on the constitution and they adapt it in the same regime? Or
no, it doesn't work like that. That's not how it works.
So then why was
because they're incompetent, inept, and corrupt.
Yeah, because I think I was send a publication out to Mr. Romeo Dennis who can get his
yes.
Because let me just say, letters that I've been reading, they always say LAA Secretariat.
Yeah. So
you, according to you, former president, that is supposed to come from the Secretary General.
It's supposed to. The secretary should be aware.
So now, let me ask you one question. Because Mr. T was very arrogant when I spoke to him pertaining to this particular suspension letters that went out. And I tried to tell him, so look, the community have placed a hold. The question he asked was that, who called the meeting? In order to have community, the higher body, sitting body, to have a meeting about an issue that taking place that is unfolding in the community, does it have to be a specific person? I'm not just asking, say you're a former president. Does it have to be a specific person that called that meeting? Even though this meeting was called by one of the board members, right? Yeah. Who is not satisfied of the dictatorship behavior the chair has been taking.
Right.
Was it wrong for him to have called a meeting, the community to a meeting?
Anybody could have called a meeting. The fact that the board has degenerated to the point wherein they can't even keep their own affairs inside. That means the board itself, we should be like a liaison between the community and the administration. Guess what? That means we are operating now, we are in constitutional crisis. In other words, anybody can call this attention to the community and the community will come there. So when Harry posted in different forums that he was inviting community members so that we could have this discussion so that he can bring it to the table, guess what? Community members are welcome to come there. There is nothing wrong with that.
No, we want to be so. When you say Harry posted calling community members, we are talking about
Harry Dwyer,
the sitting board member, Harry Dwyer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, the executive, the executive report to the board.
Yes.
The board report to the community, which is the higher body.
Most definitely so.
Now, if the higher body comes out and says, look, I want this to happen, can one person on the board veto that?
Never, ever. You know, Eric, like I said, he's incompetent, he's
very ignorant. Because I tried to educate this boy, look, the community has spoken. The first arrogance they show, who called the meeting?
But who is he?
Exactly. Because what I'm seeing from him, because he said that according to him, they had a meeting, right? Listen, he said they had a meeting. Mr. Everett specifically told me that they had a meeting about conducting the game in my due process, and they had a meeting. But right on the video that I did, the interview I did with Mr. Harry Dwell, the sitting board member, the co-chair of the board, Ms. Laura, there is a comment she made there. She said, yes, a meeting was called. Now, I want you to answer this question. She said, yes, a meeting was called pertaining to the Constitution, right?
Right.
But they did not meet quorum. Listen to me. She said a meeting was called, and I brought it to Mr. Tate's extension. He said, Laura said, I said, go read on my YouTube video, the interview is right there. Now, do you pass any judgment or any law, or do you pass any do you have any meeting if a quorum is not met?
No. How
much is the quorum? How much is supposed to be for the quorum?
Well, I don't know about the Bulls quorum. Okay. Because it could have been a Bulls quorum.
Okay.
I don't know in what context Laura spoke or what context she wrote.
Yeah, she said
it could have been the Bulls quorum. Now, but if we are going to say the Liberian Association, let's just hypothetically, let's say it was about the Liberian Association.
Correct.
It has to be 10 people, at least to have a quorum per the Constitution.
Well, according to Laura, she said the meeting, they did not have the meeting because they didn't meet quorum.
Right. So if they didn't have quorum, then that means there could have been no decision that could come from such meeting or gathering. Any decision that comes from there is not binding because they did not mean quorum.
So then I'm going to ask you this question. What if these guys decide to ignore the community and still go ahead and wants to have an election? What becomes of that?
Well, they can't ignore the community. That's the point. Well,
because Eric is acting there, the community report to him.
No, but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, and that's why I say Eric is incompetent, inept, and corrupt. I will say it again. He is inept, incompetent, and corrupt. He doesn't know what he's talking. He has no clue. According to him, he wants to know who, based on what you've said, if that's what he said, if that's what Eric said, then Eric is incompetent because, first of all, he does not even know his own duty. He does not get to dictate to the community. That's not how it works. He does not get to dictate to the community, especially wherein the bull is unstable and they're having problems.
And they report to the community.
Exactly. So he doesn't understand. That's what I said. For the man to say, because I listened to an interview, for him to say, we should have told him what to do. As a sitting board chair, that means you are incompetent, you are inept, you don't know your job, and you don't know your responsibility.
During the meeting, right? During the meeting, I asked a question to the 4 board members that were in there. A yes or no question. Did you guys receive any communication for due process for the people that were illegally suspended? 2 of them did not want to answer the question directly. They said, oh, because we didn't discuss in the board chair, we can't talk aside. Do you think it was right if the community is asking questions to the board that report to them?
Well, to be very honest, I don't think it's a right or wrong. I want to be clear about that part. I don't think it's a right or wrong thing. People have rights to plead the fifth. You can say you will not answer a question.
Okay.
It doesn't
acceptable.
Right. It doesn't automatically put you at fault or not. And to be honest, to their credit, they wanted to play safe. Because for who?
For the community or protecting somebody?
First of all, you should imagine that this is very embarrassing and shameful that the board that's supposed to be solving problem is bringing problem to the community. Think about it.
And Mr.
Think about that.
Mr. Bolay though. Mr. Bolay.
Yeah.
Let me ask something here. If you were the chairman of the board,
right,
and somebody from your in-house came outside,
right,
and brought the community together and filed a complaint, and everybody came to their community and said, wait, okay, y'all go back inside there and fix it and get back to us.
Right.
But for now, everything is on hold.
Right.
What would you have done in that case?
Well, the truth of the matter is, nothing would have come out the way it came out if we didn't follow the process. So for example, I'll give you an example and I'll come to your direct question. If we took a decision as members of the board, they will have to be
as a member of the board, not as an individual.
Yes, and an individual refuses to accept the decision that the member took, that individual has right to go in the public and make noise and complain. But to save us as board members, we have the fact that we gave you the due process, we sat together and we voted upon it. Now, in the case of where Eric is incompetent and inept, that he could not even hold his members together for them to have a meeting on simple issues, but he was making unilateral decision, Eric should shut up and sit down.
Okay. Oh my
because he brought, let me tell you something. He brought shame to the board.
Yeah.
He brought disgrace to the board, whether he likes it or not, because he is the leader of the board. So if he cannot control the board and their secrets are coming out and things are coming out and people are saying, well, we did not receive communication to go to this meeting, this person made unilateral decision, the other person sound the other person's behalf, it's a problem in itself.
So basically the board is like the Senate in his community, right? And Eric is like maybe the Senate pro tem. where when there are communications or issues that go on the decks, they put it to a vote. Is that correct? He put it down and everybody voted it. Is that how it works?
No, basically, the bull is both the Senate and the House of Representatives at this point.
Okay. So let's look at it that way, right?
Yeah.
So the bull is both the House of Representatives. So when anything go to them, the chair takes it and put it on the floor.
That was the chair responsibility
to put on the floor for debate and voting.
Yes.
But if somebody come from, if 4 people
and he should not influence the process.
Exactly. He stay away.
Yes.
He only there when the vote start,
right?
Then he can break the tie.
Most definitely so. And if he influences the process, that means he has interest. He's compromised. He should step away.
He should step away.
Yeah.
So there's my thing now. What can we do now that the whole board? I mean, when we say this constitution that was passed and adopted, is it legal?
It's not legal. And this is where we run into another constitutional crisis or whatever it is, if they were to even hold elections. Because somebody can sue us. Somebody can sue the organization. Now, here's the thing that they are joking with. This is a legal, legitimate, recognized organization, both state and federal, on the state and federal level.
Yep, that is correct.
What they are doing is unconstitutional at all levels. Yep. You cannot. In fact, if you pass our constitution, your administration don't use our constitution unless you are re-elected.
Exactly.
The constitution is enacted in the following administration, not in your administration. So you can't use that constitution for election.
So then why do many want to leave?
Because they are incompetent, inept, and corrupt.
Why do they want to leave the community into problem?
Because they want people to protect them. They don't want people to, and I've openly challenged them. I want to challenge again to the Liberian people. I want to challenge the board chairman, the current president Harry Atto, Konya, and Eric Tay. I've told you over, I beg you, your audit our administration.
Okay, I'm gonna read something from the current fraudulent constitution. Okay, I want you to listen to my community. I want you to listen to it. This is for the president. Whoever is going to run for the president of this community, based on the new fraudulent constitution the year passed sometime last month. They said, any person having an interest in aspiring for the position of president shall be a Liberian and a Bollitv active member residing in the state of Arizona. The individual shall have at least 2 years of leadership experience and must have participated in activities of the association, either by election or appointed by the president to serve at any standing ad hoc committee. He or she must be 21 years and older. So basically what they're saying, anybody that want to run for president, they must have served in the community. That person must have been appointed by the president on a committee or something. So which means they want you literally in our best and I call it appointed by the president before nothing. You can't come to the one.
Well, see, I told you.
You see, my boy,
that the so-called new constitution.
So basically what they're saying is this. If the president never appointed you before, or you never worked before with the association, you can't decide to say, okay, I want to run for the community president. So people who never ran before, people who been part of the let's say the Grower Association president, the Maningo Association president, who have never been appointed or nothing, his rights will be infringed on, because if he decides he want to run, we got to go back. If the new constitution stay now, that one we got to go back.
But now, I told you, people, they don't know what.
But listen now. And they say, even as vice president, they also say any individual aspiring for the position of the vice president shall have the same qualifications and requirement as the president. So basically, in order for you to be, the new constitution will be adapted. You see the kind of thing the menopause there? That's what they're trying to protect, my people. That's why they're trying to make fraud all over the place, so certain people can run. So look at what they're saying.
But here's the thing, though.
No, but let me just clarify to the community that comes to you. So
these guys,
Eric and Harry Atto drafted this constitution. I'm going to come to another part where they say, if you never been appointed by the president before, or never worked with the organization, with the association before, either by election or by appointment by the president to serve any standing or our committee, and you must be 21 years old before you can run, right?
Yeah.
You can't participate in the election that coming up. Now people just see why the community is putting hold on the election, Why would you put such thing into a constitution? To say, because the person never ran before or the person never been appointed before, they can't run. But I mean, you want me to read it again? You honest what I just read?
Most definitely. I mean, to be honest, I've never opened that because
no, there's a new one.
I know it's a joke. I know it's a joke, so
I'm just pointing it out. Man, people just see why we say this election must be placed on hold. Why the community decide and place a hold on this particular election. Let me read it again for you. So you can hear it. Just say, before you say that Bollietv say, the new constitution, what the men drafted, so they can be the phone. They say, any person having an interest in aspiring for the position of president shall be a Liberian and a bona fide active member residing in the state of Arizona. Because when you start using the word "sure," it means that what you will be. The individual shall have at least, this is the most important part, the individual shall have at least 2 years of leadership experience and must have participated. Listen now, 2 things you must have. You must have 2 years of leadership experience and you must have participated in activities of the association either by election or appointed by the president to serve any standing or ad hoc committee. You hear that part?
Yeah.
So my point here. So which means anybody from the Cougar Tunnel who never been part of the activity of this thing here, or any other person who got some case that just graduated for college, they put nothing but college degree there. They put nothing but any degree. All they want you to do, you must be part of the activity of the association.
Does the other positions?
I'm coming. Listen, I'm coming. So I can show the community why I'm telling you people that everything things when they say they bold are only him. Nobody's against my brother. Sometimes when we put people in leadership, the person must know the role. I don't know if the certain election commissions have read this thing. Because for this kind of a controversy that going on, I sent that man an invitation to come to Bollietv. We should put people in power who can speak to the TV to do clarification. We don't even know whether people registering or not. He needs to come and give us update. Now that the community has placed a hold, because he all of them fall under the community, the body.
But interestingly to tell you that these people are not serious, like I told you, the president is the one making videos.
Exactly. Can you imagine the man putting 1 minute video table
and being the one telling people update and vote and give update? Does that make any sense to you? I tell you, when I tell you these people are incompetent, they are inept.
So listen,
these are some of the things.
So listen, Mr. President. Now that we have come to we have clarified that everything when we say the board in Nigeria, everything cannot make unilateral decision. According to Pastor Twe, it is not written in the Bible. It can be changed. So the community say, your cancel the whole election, your place on hold, it will be placed on hold. It's not written in the Bible. Let me read the other most interesting part so the people can see this one. Y'all can me laugh. How did men try to drive a constitution to play fun on our community, our beautiful community? They want the Secretary General. Look at what they said with the Secretary General. Any individual aspiring for the position of the Secretary General shall have lived in the state of Arizona for a minimum of 1 year and must have participated in the association activities by either serving on a standing or ad hoc committee appointed by the president or volunteer he or she services to the association in whatever capacity. Must be an active member. He or she must be 21 years of age and a minimum of secondary education and must be of good moral standing in the community. So they put degree, they put 2 years to the Secretary General, right? This is what they posted. One of the men who are here saying he want to run the community, the one who posted it, they call Achi. He the one posted it in here. What do you say about the two I just read? They say everything gotta be, you gotta be part of it. You will do activity for the. What if somebody been sending out everything?
Well, like I said, I mean, it sums up these guys' behavior and the motive. And we're not going to sit. They can rest assured that if they want this to end up in the courts, we can go to the court. That will be very easy. We have easy case to make. Very, very easy case to make. And not only that, we'll open this use this constitution and other things that they have been doing, we'll go into the association's account so we can see exactly what's been happening. Because that's where all this noise is coming from. They want to protect themselves. My people, all the noise you're here then trying to do, all the crooked thing, because they got something to hide. If you get nothing to hide, you will do what is right for the people. But these guys got something to hide. So guess what? It's up to Eric and Ato, Harry. We don't go to court. That one a simple thing. That's not my personal thing, that's a community thing. And we are not, let me say this as a caveat. We are not going to sit for you to exert your criminal behavior in this community. It's not going to work. It is not going to work. We have sat and watched you guys drown yourselves. It is time for you to pay for what you did. So, I'm encouraging y'all. I am encouraging you because this will go deeper than you think. When it gets to the legal part, wherein we have to ask the state and the federal government maybe to audit you guys and to audit us too, then we'll know where we are headed. Because you're playing games and we're not about to play games with the people. We're not going to do that. If some of us can hold the Liberian government accountable for corruption and other things that you're supposed to escape, then you're ready for the issue.
This is crazy.
Are you ready for the issue?
Okay.
Eric K. You and Harry Konya, you'll be joking.
And the thing about it, Mr. Former President, because I will come to legalizing later. The bull, I will come back again. Why is it we only hear Eric T trying to be a dictator? What happened to the other board members? Are they just what? Status?
No. You know,
because the reason why I'm saying that is, right? How long ago did this particular incident take place? The bowl, because I'm not going to be saying everything anymore. The bowl, the certain VP took a complaint to the bowl about the president's irrational behavior of violating the Constitution. The very bowl found this president guilty. When I brought it up to Mr. Tay in our conversation, he agreed with me that the former president should have been punished, but was just delayed until the other issues started coming up where the vice president was completely, where nobody knew about. So he did not talk about punishing the man, but he allowed the man to draft a fraudulent constitution and preside over it. Who will you blame in this case? The entire board, because the board member they said nothing. So you want to tell me none of the board member heard? You want even the secretary general they said nothing. They said, look, I don't know about anything. You want to tell me anybody in the executive who were not part of this decision? Because according to the communication I read, they say the executive drafted the constitution and were approved by the board. So who the executive that drafted the constitution?
Well, like I said, this thing can be cut short. This thing can be done very easily. From what we have gathered, and let me say it to them, we have been compiling evidences on your behavior and on other things that you guys have done. We might not be able to talk about everything here. But if you hear me using the word corrupt without saying allegedly, that means I have the facts that you both are corrupt and you have been colluding. As evidenced by the board chairman refusing to take actions for behavior that should have been taking action. That's a corrupt behavior. That is a corrupt behavior. So the board chairman, not only that, that's just the minute part of his corruption. But I want to say this to the current vice president and the former vice president. You know, I've never spoken with the former vice president, the current vice president, since this whole hello baloo. We've never spoken on the phone. I know we normally talk shit and she'll check in with me or I will check in on her and stuff like that. But I've spoken with the former vice president. But I want to say this. I've never told him that I want to say this. I was waiting for your show to say it. I think they should initiate the process of suing Harry and suing Eric T. Let me say again, we are in a country of law. If board members are complaining that they did not sign that letter, they did not go into any meeting and everything out, wherever they got that letter from, let them go talk it to the law. Let them also use the, listen, again, we are a legal group of people. That's why when you are operating in a legal country and these kind of institutions, and what you guys don't know is these non-profit organizations that they play around with, it has a serious problem. People go to prison for these things because that non-profit organization, it is meant to serve the community. It is not meant for you to play games and play politics and play and fool around with people. And so, if that were in my case, we probably wouldn't be talking at the community level.
So,
I'm being very serious.
The funny thing about it, right? Do you guys know that the LA website is down?
But the LA website never existed. They were all flash because these guys are jokes. They are not a serious group of people. They can do nothing sustainable. Nothing. I'm saying it today. They can do nothing sustainable because they don't have the gravitas. They don't have what it takes. They don't.
So
they don't.
I'm going to show it to the people. This way, right? This you look at it, Mr. So you can know when they say the Liberian Association of Arizona, right? LRBAZ.org. You know the website?
That joke?
Yeah, but I mean, my people, y'all hold on one second. The man only get one financial report, and when the opposition to that financial report, the very bold chairman said you rejected that particular financial report. The man did not get any other financial report. Ain't that a violation of the Constitution? They're supposed to give a financial report. And also, you were once the sitting president. Now, I'm going to ask you this question. Into two. Was it a violation that he's supposed to get? How many financial reports normally, when you are president of the Liberian Association of Arizona, is supposed to give?
Anytime we have programs, we give financial report. Monthly financial report, quarterly financial report, we did that. So
wait, I just asked the second part.
Yes, that's what he's supposed to do.
That's what he's supposed to do.
He's supposed to update us on our money. It's not a choice.
Okay. If you don't do that, it's a violation of the Constitution.
It is a violation of the Constitution.
Anybody who violates that Constitution, what should happen?
Well, then the board should be able to make sure that they investigate that person and institute punishment.
Okay. So I'm on here. Let me go to the Liberian Association website here and say maybe after the video you see, you will go update it.
Leave that joke, man.
You see here, my people?
Leave that joke. Leave jokes.
So the mayor have programs. He had an inauguration where there was no money deposited after the inauguration. Isn't that correct? The mayor, according to he had or July or Phil, he just tried to push on the girl and say, bring it Friday here. No money accounted for. Oh, now you coming out and charging people $500 for president, $450 for vice president. Nobody know what happened to the day by day, the bereavement money that out there and the other money that you collected. You shut the website down because I can't go on it. Because every member of the community should have access to that website.
But you're talking about website. Website, at least it requires technological means and all of that. What's about the building that you guys went and were passing around, giving us on? Where's the building?
No update on the building. He's supposed to report. He's supposed to report how much the people paying. I can attest. They were paying him $600 each month on that building. Now,
so wait, please. Let me get this thing on record, please.
In my New Year's Day, listen, my New Year's 2025 message. That's why I tell you people to pay attention to things that I do. I told you people, I put the contract there. After he refused in one of the meetings to tell the people of the community, the people he report to, how much he will pay, I keep on and put that document on. Y'all go back and go watch the video then. Because you're in the community. You're in the community. I say, Bollitv. I put the document in $600 a month. Right? That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're paying to the people that matter. So he's supposed to inform the people.
So my question, the thing I wanted to make clear, because you're just saying this, are you saying we were leasing from someone and the administration decided to sublease again?
Well, listen to me. Mr. Bolay, you guys are all in the community.
God.
Okay? I did a video. Go back, I'm giving you the reference. 2025, January 1st, I released a video where I'm by myself. Like an annual message to the community. The amount The contract were all in that video. You, Mr. Bolay, were pressing me that you wanted to see what was going on with that building. Don't sit there now and tell me that you don't know about it, because that documentations were placed in that video. Okay, now the question is,
you're not clarifying this.
Yeah,
was the president subleasing?
Mr. Bolay, I interview you, not interview me. I'm giving you a reference. You were one of those. You were one of those who were pressing me because you wanted to know how the whole thing was going about that building. I released a video. I'm giving you the date, January 1st, 2025. Everybody go and watch that video. I talk about everything in that video. Release the leasing agreement in that video. My people, let me tell you, from the time Bollitv, from the time Steve Bollietv was turning over, if you all can remember, I put bank statement upon bank statement, how much they were turning over. I put all the evidences in there for you. And I can sit down here again and repeat it. If you want to know it, go watch the video. I told you people to pay attention to the details in the community. But yes, sit down, you won't be sitting down on different anything. I ain't get time for that thing, nobody. So, Mr. Bolay, now let's go back to what I was trying to say. If the man violated all the constitution violation, why was he allowed? Why did the board? Yeah, I'm going to say everything. The board. Why didn't the board speaker? You want to tell me the board member never knew the member violating the constitution? And two, I want you to, because I'm putting all the questions together so you can answer, so we can come to the end of the show. And two, are we supposed to always have online meeting?
Part of the reasons I told you and told other members of the community that I am not going to attend any online meeting again. But do we wait now? Let me get to that. I'm trying to make sure I clarify it. One, we were under the impression that we have a space, correct, that we acquired. If anything changed with the space, the administration responsibility should be able to tell us why, update us as to what is going on. Second of all, there is no pandemic. There is nothing going on. Why are we having online meeting? The organization is not an online organization.
But let me ask you now. We got to speak based on the constitution.
Right.
Is it compulsory we have in-person meeting? Does the constitution of the Arizona Association requires that we have meeting in person?
Yeah, it requires that we have meeting in person. As evidenced by that, the constitution talks about where the meetings and the office space are supposed to be held in the state of Arizona, in the city of Phoenix. It gives a specific location.
But what was Glendale was not Phoenix.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So that's, again, it's a constitutional breach. That's why when you guys went to dedicate a place, some of us did not go there because we knew you guys were breaching the constitution. We knew that these guys were not serious, man, a group of people, and that they were incompetent because they couldn't even read the document that brought them to power. They couldn't even read it to understand it and to implement it. When we were there, we hosted our meetings, the general meetings were hosted in Phoenix, Arizona. Now, here's the thing, if the body decided that somebody was hosting it out of the city of Arizona, then
the city of Phoenix.
The city of Phoenix,
yeah,
then guess what? We made it known to the body, the board was there. It was an agreement that we did temporarily at the time.
Yeah, but it's just kind of confusing. Why would you even suspend a certain VP without reaching out to the people who elected her? Because she was elected, not appointed. You can just suspend her. You still have to bring her to the body. Say, due to this and this, we suspended your VP while you're elected.
Well, for that part, I'll play the devil's advocate on behalf of the board. The board can carry on investigation. VP is found guilty. I agree with you that they're supposed to inform the body. They're supposed to let the body know that these are our findings from the certain VP. Try to see if they can get recommendation from the body as well. Bring it to the body and say, okay, this is what the board have decided to do. The board could do that, right? The board could do that part. But here's the part that's interesting. The board did not follow its own inside procedure to even investigate the former VP and the present VP. So that makes the board wrong. Wow. In itself. It makes the process fraudulent. It makes it corrupt.
There are some guys on our board don't need to be there.
What?
For real. I'm going to call my own man Samson or Samson. Samson don't need to be on our board. Samson does not have his own thought of mind.
Well, and that's why I said that's why I said earlier that elections have consequences.
Yes.
Because if something is voted, then I will respect the will of the people.
You are voted about that. Let me tell you, the people too got to come high on our community. You don't just vote people because you know the people.
There's not so me. I respect the will of the people.
Yeah, I respect the will of the people, but I think it's happening. I think once upon a time, one of my guests, I think Magnus Lobo, suggested that when it comes to the bull now, no one tribe should dominate the bull. Because sometimes it has influence on things like this. Where everybody want to be loyal to somebody because the person has a trouble, man. Me, I don't do that thing there. Well, so, yeah. So, what I'm trying to say, I think, because the Constitution, but we're not going to keep it. It's not going to be there. Anybody win, you dissolve the whole Constitution because it's illegal in the first place.
Well, at this point, like I said, there is no way, in no way, shape, or form, we can use this so-called Constitution that they got.
Exactly. So whoever going to win, so they can decide if they want to adapt this fraudulent Constitution. As far as we're concerned, the old Constitution stay in place. And the election commission, that's why I sent you an invitation. Because we need to know what constitution we want to be using. What are the guidelines? I mean, the election commission ain't writing nothing.
Yeah, but you saw the president was the one who made a video talking about the election. It should not even be done.
Mr. Adam Wilson, man, you're my brother, my man. I sent you an invitation for an interview. You are the election, you need an elected election commission. You need to come and speak to the people. We need to know what you know, what we're going by. Don't you be putting things chat room up and down and you see all of it? Can you imagine? So one of the I will say that one of the community members asked Adam Wilson, look, I'm going to read this. She said, where is that? Adam Wilson, will information from the election commission be posted in here? Also, is the commission disregarding all the members in this chat room, this original chat room? Look at the man reply. Okay? We'll probably do now moving forward. I didn't know that we have 2 chat rooms been away for a few months. So you the election commission, right? You come and can say that all the community. You don't know nothing. We only got 1 chat room. So why you posting nothing? No, nothing coming from you. We don't even know whether we go by the old constitution or the new constitution. Because we can't go by the new the fake constitution they put together. I don't know if you question. I don't know, we elected you as election commission, not as Bobo. Come outside and speak. I send you an invitation for your own good. Come outside, because when I start doing video and start coming for you, don't say, "Oh my woman, why treat my brother Bolay?" Well, if you don't want a position, move for there. No, we need to be elected people in the place here that will come and speak to the camera. Well, something I invited, the man won't get to our camera. Well, what are you people when get to?
Well, but the man's right.
Yeah, I'm not like right, but guess what? You election. This is an election that's bringing problem in the community. So you know what I mean? The body. Because the board is questioning their own chair now. The chair will not even know the job. You sit down there, the board telling you, say, "Oh, mama, you're doing the right thing." Instead, you can't face it quick. And you know, you want to sit down there, you hire, and you saying the right thing. These guys don't want to bring problem in this community.
They do. But they will not happy. Eric and rest assured.
No, when I say you poor chair, Eric, like you're the poor temp, right? You bring things on the floor. If your friend say you didn't bring it on the floor, that should be nothing hard feelings about it. You say, okay, say, sit down, you don't go by our house. But you sit down and let it to escalate.
That's what should have been done.
You know, it's kind of sad that sometimes I have to go after some of my own men. And 2, let me tell you, I'm not going to only blame everything. I blame the entire board. Because this guy, I blame the entire board. They are all in F.
But here's the thing. I'll give credit to Harry Dwyer, who in the last minute decided to speak out.
Yeah, but in the last minute, the 90 million now.
Yeah, you know, if he hadn't spoken, then I would, you know, say all of them. At least he mustered the courage to speak. Yes, the rest of the people have remained quiet. I'm not sure what the reasons are, but at the end of the day, you're right. They all take the blame.
No, I'm not taking none of them for that.
Because at the end of the day, you know, there are people, all of them on the board there. I respect all of them. No, this is not personal. I respect them. I'll call you out if you don't do what is right.
I mean, respect is earned.
At the end of the day, I respect all of them. But I also agree with you that they should have spoken.
This is the thing.
They should have done what is right. And they should have challenged Eric to not be inserting himself.
If you watch Harry Dwyer's interview, I asked him, how often do you guys have meetings? Go listen to the interview. The interview I just did with Harry Dwyer, go watch it. He told me they sort of have meeting. He gave the time in the have meeting. So you want to tell me? He said the last time they ever had meeting, when a certain vice president carried a personal complaint. So you say you're supposed to have meeting center. You said nothing. So they were just sitting in the community here. They say nothing. There are lot many of time now. Oppositions are making noise, and let me come to the opposition small. Why you're two? You're so all the yo. You did not speak out. You did not say, because for a long time the opposition was not talking, said nothing. What's going on?
Well, but here is the truth of the matter, though. I'm not an opposition.
You are.
I'm a former president.
You're former president, and your vice president is running. You own a scam.
Well, let's get something clear. I'm not an opposition.
Why are you not?
I'm a community member.
Okay.
Second of all, I'm the most recent former president. And so my role is to unite the community and not try to divide the community.
What, speaking truth, is that not uniting?
It is uniting. But however, you see, when you have been somewhere, it's okay to give other people the chance to do their thing. I can assure you that if we had started speaking or started pointing out some of these things from the beginning, the first thing is that we're going to pour the blame on, say we are undermining them, we're not giving them a chance to do their job.
No, man, let me tell you.
So guess what? We gave them ample time. Let me use the word enough time.
2 years.
To get their acts together.
But you're getting them in 2 years?
That's what we're supposed to do.
No. Opposition is there to hold the sitting government feet to fire.
No, let me tell you something.
You can't say, you spoke, Mr. Bolay, let me speak.
No, but listen, I'm not in opposition, I've told you.
Okay, let me ask you, are you on the former VP's camp?
I'm not on the former VP's camp.
Are you part of his campaign team?
The former VP has told me that he wanted to run.
Are you not?
And I gave my blessing to the former VP. I support him.
So you're not running?
No, I'm not running for the presidency of the Liberian Association.
Okay, we got that clarification. But the reason why I asked you, because G-Flow came in there. When I said, but I don't know who all the candidates running, he said, but Steve Bolay and Maya running.
Well, anybody got the right to say what they want to say.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, clarify, right. So I don't want to be sure.
So I'm not running. The former vice president came to me about a few months ago, told me about his desire. I asked him a few questions. He answered the questions. And I said, okay.
And he gave you a blessing.
And I told him, yes.
Okay.
I gave him my blessing. But here's the point I was trying to make. Bolay, we had to, to the point where we wanted to so much support this administration that as one of the former presidents, apart maybe from Dr. Sherman, I was consistent in most of the meetings until one of these days I went to one of the meetings and the president decided to not only misquote the Constitution, lie about the Constitution, and attack our administration in a meeting.
That was the man we on laugh for.
And I clarified it to him. When I tried to clarify it to him, he got mad at me and said he would call the police on me.
That's his problem.
From that day, I knew to myself that this guy is not a serious-minded man.
Harry Eto is very arrogant. Let me be honest.
He does not want people.
He's very arrogant.
He does not want people around who will.
No.
The many days we went to meeting, these guys challenged us, insulted us, disrespected us. We took it in. They criticized us while we were doing the right thing. They even went as far, our administration. They made us print bank statements because they thought in their minds that we were doing corrupt issues. So we said, in order to prove it to them, we took months. No. To clarify it, we took months. We went over all of the bank transaction. We brought printouts to them. We handed it out to them for months. We went over it.
Mr.
Understand?
Mr. Bolay, what you're explaining, if that what you're there, you are not proving. You are elected by the people and work for the people. It's just like your employer.
Right.
If you're doing job what they have, you have to make reports. If your employer asks you for that report, you're giving it to them. It mean that you only give them what the employer asks for. So if the community asks you for any documentation,
no, it was not a community.
Who then?
It was a few people.
Are they not part of the community?
Hold on now. That wanted to paint us as doing the wrong thing.
Even if it was a few handful of people, they were members of the community.
Sure. And
so you work for them.
Right.
So what I'm saying, or mature government, like what you did.
Right.
Anybody that believes that you are elected by the people and work for the people you will do that.
Yeah.
Not Harry at all.
No, we went.
Very ignorant man.
We went to the extreme.
Even a whole campaign team during the election said that they got a temperament problem.
Well, that went on,
okay,
and they still went and brought him to okay. So
very insane. And then everything is like the two guys are in Korea. I don't know who teaching the friend Gina. Because the same kind of thing that he did is what Eric is doing now. Eric said that I want to be arrogant. Who told you said because you're the board chair, it means that you're above the community? You just a board chair. We just put you there. We put all of you there. That does not mean the decision. You can even make a decision to the community and come back and say, we want it.
Most definitely.
You work for us. We employ you. Go tell your employer, you go do some job, your employer say, I don't like the job, go complete. You work for us. If everything that does not listen, then we're impatient before we dissolve the entire book. Because number one, you work for us. We're not going by what you want. Look, when they say Liberian Association or Liberian Board of Directors of the Liberian Association, they're not everything. We put that group of people so they can do check and balance in the community, because everybody can be doing yo, or you're who's supposed to do the check and balance. And look at what you're doing now. You're putting the whole community in disarray. Don't go back in your house and face it. Thank God the community placed the entire election on hold.
Well, I can say this to you. I hope we don't get to dissolving the board. I would actually love for us to hold the board accountable, because when you dissolve them, then you exonerate them of accountability. We want to get to the point wherein we go through this process, hold this board in the past administration, plus our administration, plus the previous administration before us accountable.
Well, that will be up to the next person that will come there.
We have to set record. Look, let me say this, Bolay. Let me say this to you, and I'll say this. I don't joke with certain things. You know, I don't use certain words. I don't use words like sue, go to court. I don't use those words. But when I use them, I mean them. If Eric Tay and Ato Gonia,
Harry Ato Konia, a gorilla,
Harry Konia and Eric Tay fool around. I'm not saying the community will sue them. I'm an immediate president, former president. I have rights. I have the record. We will listen. I'm not saying my one. I'm saying we will carry a petition. We will sue them, both of them.
Yeah, so, but let me ask you one
more thing. This is serious. This is not a joking matter.
But listen though.
They should not fool around.
Mr. Bolay, let me be fair now. With the situation I'm going on right now, right? With the situation I'm going on right now, where people trying to destabilize the community, especially when it comes to the fraudulent constitution that was passed and the fraudulent suspensions of 2 people. Who will you hold responsible? Which part of the community, which part of the government you hold responsible? The LAA now, which part of the government? Will you hold the executive responsible, or will you hold the board of directors responsible?
Well, the letter came from the board of directors.
So then the board of
director will be held responsible for that incident.
For which incident?
For
the suspension letters?
The suspension letters.
Will you now hold the board of directors for the constitutions?
Well, the board of directors and the executive will be held also liable for the constitution.
The executive report to the board of directors.
Right.
They approve what
it was the executive that sent it to them.
Okay.
Second of all,
then why didn't they deny?
The executive that's why both of them can be sued. The executive cannot be immune also because the executive, the sitting vice president, accused the president of corruption.
Of course. We all watch that video.
So the records are already there. They just waiting for somebody to trigger it for them to go to court. That's it.
Let me tell you my community.
And when we go to court, let me say this, Bolay, because this is important. Let me say this. There will be no going behind the hall to talk about this.
No, they get some people.
We're not doing. Let them leave it with God.
Yeah, let them leave it.
I don't do leave it with God business. I'm not part of that.
See, leave it with God. Put shipping under the rust. I want to Liberian today.
Like I said, we gave them a time to hang themselves because we knew they were going to hang themselves. So I'm calling on. Let me call their names. Bibo. He was the financial secretary.
Yeah, he was a financial secretary.
Romeo Dennis. He was the secretary general.
Yep.
I will call on them as a community because when tank out, I don't want nobody to say, "Oh, you and the people that your friend."
They can subpoena everybody.
You and the people that your friend. No, because then they start being a lawsuit. They elected people. As far as we're concerned, they never resign.
Yep.
So they're still on record.
Yeah.
And if they're still on record, that means they're all going to be part of the suit. and they're all going to answer. So that means whether they want to hang the president,
I think
what they want to hang themselves.
What I would advise to
this is serious business.
They need to come out and speak.
Don't fool around.
They need to come out and speak because number one, to be honest with you, this is very, very bad for the image of our community. But Mr. Bolay, before we go, right, before I give you your closing statement, I just want you to answer one question. So, what do you think? Should the community because they place a hold on the election? What if the Bull come back because they come in Sunday is when they're supposed to get back to us?
Yeah.
Where if they come back, they say, well, they have not resolved the issue yet. What do you suggest happen?
Well, if the Bull comes back and say the issues have not been resolved, then we are human beings. We can make compromises. We can ask them how soon they will have the issues resolved.
So you suggest now everything remain on hold until the Bull can get back?
No, I'm not suggesting. I am in support of the community based on what I'm not suggesting, because it's not about me.
Okay.
The community have already said, as of last Sunday,
correct,
that everything is on hold. The community agree. According to the constitution, the community, anywhere you go, the community is
the
highest decision making body. So there is no way any one person can sit down in their head and say,
yeah, but I don't understand why you know what I'm saying? Everything Sammy get a hurry at all.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, because I heard the executive we elected all of them. Yeah, that won't be sitting out a minute. I see everything doing.
Listen.
No, the suspension not be withdrawn. Who cares why you withdraw it? You can keep the letter and the community report, everything on hold. We don't care about what you do.
Listen.
You and your poll can go separate.
Listen.
Nobody listening to you, everything. That election is canceled. It's on hold.
Let me say this.
I know what you being arrogant for. So, Mr.
Everything can think like that in his head. That is constitutional right. As far as we're concerned in this community. Yeah. And I want to say again, I challenge everything. And Harry Bonia, let us see election go on. Let us see it.
But who they carry election on for? The simple want carry election on for the post say your place, your
let them cross that line. We know who be made in the community.
Yeah. The same people you want carry election on the post say, okay, napping, we place a hold on the election. Then you want other. You see, it has to be very ignorant. They don't even know the job description. Everything does not know that he worked for the community, and the community can tell him what they want.
You know, enough is enough.
So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we'll give Mr. Bolay at least 1 or 2 minutes so he can do his closing statement and every other thing you add it so we can call it a day. But guess what? Keep following. Mr. Bolay?
Yes, Mr. Bolay.
I'll tell you what, my man, but thank you for coming. So I will give you 1 or 2 minutes. Talk to your people.
Well, I want to thank the people of Arizona again. Nothing said here is personal. These are just facts. Some of us will not be alive and allow a certain group of people to do certain things and continue to go unpunished or unchecked. That will not happen. It will not happen. No, it will not. And like I said, the challenge is on to Eric and Harry. You'll organize election. Let's see if it will hold. And if it holds, we will sue you. That will not between you and all. It's not between you and all, it will be between you and the government. It is what it is. Whatever we need to spend, we'll spend it. We'll do what we need to do. At the end of the day, we will make sure this community gets back on track. You will not divide us. You will not bring that incompetent, inept, and corrupt, criminally minded behavior in our community. It will not work. Not especially some of our around. It will not work. You know, we kept silent because we wanted to give you guys an opportunity to change your behaviors, to do what is right, to unite this community. But you guys have brought so much division in this community. And you think some of us sat down, or some people are just watching, you think we're stupid sets of people. You think we don't know what we're doing. You think we're not paying attention, keeping track and taking records. You really think so? Let's joke around and see. Let's play ball. Before we leave, I know the last time when we spoke about 2 years ago, I told Bollietv and the Liberian people that Harry was going to leave the position with Yula because it was unconstitutional. It has been confirmed to me that he resigned from the position with Yula.
We can talk all.
We can talk all. Because you know what?
For me.
Because you know what? When you don't do the right thing, you get the wrong results. And that's exactly what happened when I said it that day. And we told you. And I want to say this to our people. If anything, I gave Harry
at all. So
the code to be successful in this community. He refused to listen. You see the money that we gave you.
Yep. Stay away from it.
Almost 18,000 or 15 or 16.
No, it was not 18. It was 20-something thousand total.
I said to him, if you cannot add anything to the money, bring the people money back, what will give it to you? You never listen.
Wow, I know listen.
As of today, I'm hearing that we get nothing there.
They may eat all the day by the money there.
That one nobody. The second one I told him. I said, you see this, Eric? The Eric that fraudulently did the election, that changed people's names overnight, fraudulently, are supposed to sign the paper for the election.
But why you didn't speak?
Eric did not bring it to me. You know why I didn't speak? Because I did not want division in this community.
No, Mama, it's not
I care about this community.
Listen, I have to add to that thing when you finish what you're talking. I'm not going to accept that.
I care about this community so much to the point that anything that will bring division in this community, I don't want it.
But okay, then, Mr.
So
then I'm going to also accuse you of being one of the people that sweeping under the rug. You say
I never swept him under the rug.
It is not division because you see something for. Listen to me. This is how I do things. When I see fraud, I will speak about it. It's up to the community people. Like, you see what I've done in Bollietv? Every documentation for the bank statement,
I never swept
everything, I pull it up. I don't care what
I never swept on the wrong. I brought it to the election commissions. I brought it to the Heritage himself.
You go to the men who are doing corruption, you go report yourself to the set.
I brought it to the Heritage.
To say, Mama, you think we'll talk about it?
So that's the second thing I told you. I said everything will be a problem. I was clear about it. I was very specific. I'm not going to go into details, but I was specific as to what he shouldn't do. And he refused to listen. And guess what? These are the three things that have brought problems to him. So I say this to say, Harry Konya had everything to be successful.
He failed.
He failed himself. He failed the community. And I feel very, 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 very sorry for us in the community. He failed us because there were a lot of people, the level of enthusiasm. I want to encourage our people to be honest with you, to not give up. We have a good community.
Yeah, we got good people there.
People should not stay away.
That's true.
The momentum was so much. Some people I didn't see in the community for so long. There are a lot of people that made sacrifices. There are a lot of people that even step out of their own comfort zone, that had relationship with some of us, that came out to not support us, to support him because of the lies that they carried to them. But I'm grateful that we're alive today, that those lies have caught up with them. And now guess what? That shame will be on him, Eric. I wanted to say to them, the message will reach to the owners.
All right, Mr. Bolay, once again, thank you. My community, you know, I don't want to do the Let me say something. The community first, I would like to say thank you for coming together to place a hold on the election. So no election as far as we are concerned. Anybody who believes that because they're trying to, wish on their friends and you're not affecting them, so you just won't be president, hold on to you. Because if you run in this first election, you'll be wasting your time. Your money will go in vain. Because when the community decide, we'll still have election. You will not be president. So if I were you, hold your money here until the community take the vote for the election. You listen to me? To the bowl. You're all incompetent. And I'm moving one of you for there. My community, let me tell you something. We elected these people to work for us. One man can stand and be doing bukaye and think that when he wants decision, it can be reversed. The pastor told say that not bad way were written in. And not written in stone either. The community say no election. Everything on who? We want to do the right thing. The pastor told say again, a community divided cannot have an election. It's not fair. Any sensible and sound person will not see a community divided and still want to carry on election just to prove a point. Who you proving point to? You can't prove point to your employer, except you have no leadership ability. You were elected by the community and work for the community. We don't care what you say in your ballroom there. We care about you again. You fail us. When are you going to get up and remove all of you? I'll come to go door to door so we can take all of you from there. You're worth nothing. You're sit down there. You're coming and disgrace the community. I mean, I was so excited that, okay, the next election will give momentum to it. Look at how the last person was looking. But community, let me tell you something. After this issue is resolved and our community become unified to have the election, and we advise you, y'all be careful. It's not friendship business, they're not trouble business. Y'all be careful this time who you will elect as your executive, who you will elect as your board member. Because we don't want this to be repeated. Arizona been put on a map. Every people asking me when the election. Susu Club said they may be chairman in the community again. You guys still have the opportunity to elect a good president. That notion that one writing apples pour all the apple in the tree, that I believe in that notion. When you buy the first one back, keep looking, you find good. The community do have competent people here. Let me tell you the truth. They got competent. We got children that graduate from colleges. They got degree. We got children that are very smart. We got people here that are very, very smart. You're not overlook our community. With that being said, we still may not allow figure-headed people to spoil our community. Anybody who say they got leadership ability, first, you must learn to take criticism. You must also learn that you are not always correct. Especially so if you are elected in a position where you have to serve people. That the executive, the board, have to report to the community. We are the higher decision-making body. Anybody that you see talking, say, because they alone not pass decision, so no community will enter, then you don't deserve to be there. You have no leadership ability. You have no vision. You cannot be anywhere. Especially so if you do not realize that you were employed by people or you were elected by people and work for those people, then you don't need to be anywhere. Don't sit there and say, oh, I got character. No, you don't have character. Stop fooling yourself. If you have character, all these things will not going to go on. First of all, look at the thing. Compare, like I said, compare yourself with your predecessor. When you were leaving from Dr. Shemo, everything went smooth. Having to it, everything went smooth. Even the Maya Bishop, the election went smooth. Steve Bolay, West Side the former president, the election, yes, said he saw something there, but because he talked about community first. You see how leader can think? Community first. Now your own negative ego. Community first. When you're serving people, the people come first. Now your own negative ego. This has been Bollitv production, the #1 online TV station. See you on the next episode. Follow me for more election updates. For now, the election has been placed on hold by the community. Thank you for watching.